boy had been asleep for 30 years, and when he finally woke up again, he realized he was already a 40-year-old man. He curiously took in everything around him. His mother, too, had grown old, her hair now completely silver.
Mom.
They held each other tightly, calling out one another's names. 30 years of waiting and never giving up all dissolved into tears in that moment. Seeing Leonard come back to life, Sayer felt an overwhelming sense of relief. The nurses had spent so many years caring for the patients like they were little more than living plants that the moment they saw Leonard awake, they were left completely stunned. His awakening breathed new life into the ward, which had once felt cold, silent, and suffocating. Sayer carefully documented every stage of Leonard's condition with his camera. He hoped that somehow these records might help advance the research surrounding the illness. Not long ago, Sayer had decided to try Parkinson's medication on Leonard. At first, the dosage wasn't strong enough, and Leonard showed no improvement at all, until Sayer finally took a bold risk and raised the dosage to 1,000 milligrams. And that very night, Leonard miraculously woke up. Sayer fought to contain the excitement rushing through him. He slowly stepped forward, almost afraid to breathe, until Leonard finally lifted his head and spoke his first words in 30 years.
Wyatt, it's late. Everyone's asleep.
I'm not asleep.
He picked up a crayon and carefully wrote down a single word. The handwriting was shaky and uneven, but it was his own name. After endless years trapped in darkness, he had finally reached a faint glimmer of light. Not long after, Sayer took him out to see the world. 30 years later, the neighborhood from his childhood had changed beyond recognition. Everywhere he looked felt unfamiliar and brand new. And the youth he never got to live quietly began waking up inside him. The bench where his name had once been carved had weathered decades of time, yet the marks were still visible. Leonard looked at everything like a child seeing the world for the very first time. That night, Leonard refused to go to sleep because deep down, he was terrified that if he closed his eyes, he might never wake up again.
When you wake up in the morning, it'll be the next morning.
Thankfully, when morning came, Leonard was still awake, and his condition was continuing to improve. That gave Sayer hope. He wanted to begin treating more patients with the drug, but the medication cost $12,000 a month, and the hospital director, who had always been stingy with funding, rejected the idea immediately. But just then, one of Sayer's nurses stepped forward and handed over her own paycheck. Then, another check appeared, and another. One after another, people quietly placed them in front of the director. Only then did he realize how narrow-minded he had been. In the end, the moved director agreed to organize a fundraiser. People from all walks of life gathered there, and when they saw Leonard, once trapped like a lifeless shell, now standing there alive and smiling, they opened their wallets without hesitation. One check after another was written out for the patients still trapped in silence. Everyone wanted to do their part to help bring them back. And just like that, the other patients began taking the medication too. But what the outcome would be, no one truly knew. After an exhausting day, Sayer collapsed asleep in his office. Then suddenly,
Dr. Sayer?
What is it?
It's a fucking miracle.
he rushed frantically toward the ward. One by one, 15 patients began waking. After sleeping for so many years, they looked around in shock and curiosity. Some couldn't believe they were standing again. Others were stunned to realize they could walk. Sayer looked at Leonard with deep emotion in his eyes. It was Leonard who had opened the door for all of them.